My name is Aneesh Khanna. I'm an author and an earliest stage entrepreneurship coach. My book is out on Amazon and Flipkart. It's called Ain't No Eureka, Your Idea to Enterprise Journey. If I think back to 2010 and 11 when I started my own entrepreneurship journey, and I think of what were the triggers, what were the pivotal moments. So I was in a corporate job with a leading MNC in diagnostics, and it was a comfortable position. One morning I got a call from an old person who was waiting for a technician to come at 7 in the morning. She had already fasted for 12 to 14 hours. She wanted to have that cup of tea, and the technician was late, and I had no idea because we were a 800 people big company and I had no idea what to do. At that time I told myself, what a small company can do with reference to last mile delivery is way better than a big company. I also realized that the internet which was growing was not democratic. We didn't have idea about which lab, what prices, what location, what quality, and there was something to solve as a problem. And those were my triggers for my own entrepreneurship journey. My book, which is out now on Amazon and Flipkart, is all those learnings which I wish somebody would have told me in 2010-11. And I put all of those learnings for people to learn from. One of my favorite chapters is Funding Ka Funda. Today when I talk to people, the book is for everyone who roams with an idea in their pocket. But besides an idea in the pocket, they roam with one more romantic idea. I'm going to pitch to that angel investor and he's going to call me and send me a term sheet which says, I'm going to give you a 1 crore check tomorrow morning, come and collect it. That's not going to happen today. What's happening is with Startup India, the place of India in the globe, and this phenomenon called Shark Tank, which we all love, the funnel has increased of the number of people who want to become entrepreneurs. But what's happening at the early stage, the number of deals are the same. What that means is every angel investor, every early stage venture capital firm is getting hundreds and thousands of pitches every month, and they have the greatest choice possible. I have written this chapter as a question and answer format between an aspiring entrepreneur and myself. I've spoken about things like term sheet, due diligence, shareholder agreements, hidden clauses within it, things like reserved matters, and a whole lot of interesting things. I also do idea validation bootcamp and masterclasses. Aim of these is to orient the students towards understanding the building blocks of entrepreneurship. I usually do them in engineering colleges for undergrad students, also in business schools for BBA and MBA students. I've also done a few for 14 to 16-year-olds. The aim is to talk to you about how do you identify a problem, what is competition analysis, what is a minimum viable product, what's a product market fit, everything that you need to know if you are going to choose entrepreneurship as a career option going forward. I speak to a lot of mentees, a lot of people with starry eyes about building out their dreams, and there are some very common patterns of misconceptions. And I want to talk to you about 3 of them. The first one, I have this great solution, this great feature, but I tell them take a step back. Sometimes the problem is more important than the solution. In fact, I can tell you from experience that entrepreneurship is a very long and hard journey. And unless you have fallen in love with the problem, it's going to be very difficult to stay honest to your mission. The other thing, like I spoke about, is I want funding on day one. It may not happen. In fact, I think customer money is way better than fundraising on day one. When you get your own money through your few hundred or thousand customers, you learn how it is to frugally bootstrap your company. Consciousness about costs, getting that first customer love, and that's something which is gold. The third thing which I've often told is in a slide in a pitch which comes to me for review and it says, it's a $5.2 billion market and if I can only get 1% of it, that's it, I've cracked it. But that's not true. The bigger the market, the more complex it is to crack with 10, 20, 25 lakhs bootstrap money. In fact, you're better off finding customer love, building something which is so superior for a seemingly small and niche market, and I can assure you that if you get that customer love, that love will increase over time and your TAM will become very, very big. Of course, my own personal reflections do come into mentoring. I build my entire mentoring with this one phrase which I heard about, which said, mentoring is a brain to pick, a ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. I have to be cognizant that when I went out, my idea was different. I raised 2 rounds of seed capital. I pitched to over 75 angels and VCs across the entire country. I use all those wins and scars of my own journey into my mentoring. But I always tell myself that every idea is different. And instead of advising first, it is my job to understand the entrepreneur, the idea, before I mentor and before I coach them. Another thing which I think is interesting today and not a lot of entrepreneurs do, considering how early stage funding is tough, is the role that incubators and accelerators and the government seed schemes can have. In fact, I believe that they open your doors to a lot of experts across areas. But more than experts, the money could be 10, 15, 30 lakhs, even 30,000 rupees a month. And there are a number of government schemes available. Before you take that first external finance, try a government grant. A small amount of money can help you build out your minimum viable product. Use that, get your first set of customers, and that can be hugely valuable. I want to talk to you about one of my mentees. So he's someone who comes from pedigreed engineering college, has built an AI product in the spiritual space. He had received 2 grants already. Using that money, he built out a nice AI MVP. And he came to me saying, I want to raise money, and that's my primary source of mentoring. We spoke to a few VCs and angels. People kept asking him, where's the business, where's the traction? I said, let's go back to the drawing board. I told him, why don't you use your MVP which you've built? Let's get 1,000 paying customers. Even a small amount of money is okay. 1,000 paying customers who like what you're building, whose problem you are solving, and then we will find the product market fit. The holy grail for startups. A bunch of people who love you, whose problem you're solving the most, and it will work for them. Use that set and then go raise your money. It will be a lot easier to raise money. That is work in progress. I thought I will share one of those insights. In the long run, I hope that my book acts as a GPS. Ain't No Eureka, Your Idea to Enterprise Journey was written for all those people who are sitting in the college canteen sipping chai. All those people in lunch breaks and corporate jobs. Or after 7:30 where there are only few people sitting and you're mulling over your dream or your idea. I hope and pray that you use this book as a workbook. You scribble on it, write it, flesh out your dream and peel the layers of the idea step by step. I'm also on a crusade to make every idea count. But we are at a cusp of time in India where entrepreneurship is chosen as a career. And I can assure you that this time may not come again for a long time. And therefore, it is our responsibility to create the building blocks of entrepreneurship. I'm actively working with students as young as 14 to undergrad engineering business schools, sending the message and the mission of the book out there. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to understand what it is, what is the training, what's the building blocks. And that's my long-term crusade. Make every idea count.